Are you ready to podcast, Iron? My little loaf? I'm half the size of your bed, lengthwise. I am the biggest corgi in the land. You're so cute. Hello, and welcome to the Once Upon a Corgi podcast / YouTube channel. I am Gabby, your human host, and this is a Crafty Puppy Interrupted podcast coming to you from Southern Connecticut. You can find me everywhere online, most active on Instagram as Gabagales, and on my hand-dyed yarn at Once Upon a Corgi and onceuponacorgi.com. We have a super sleepy Iron on the bed with us today, and Audrey is sleeping somewhere under the bed. We even have a sleepy cat behind the camera. All the sleepy animals. And it is a super cloudy, gray, kinda rainy, gross February day in New England. And this is what it's gonna be until about March, in which case it'll either be second fall spring or snow again. And that's the weather update. This is episode 88. I just want to say a giant thank you to people who are checking us out for the first time, and a welcome back to all returning viewers. Thank you so much for keeping up with us. We took a couple weeks off due to Vogue Knitting Live, and then I was sick for about a week and a half, and then I injured my neck, so I couldn't look left, and turning was painful, and I recorded a podcast, but it looked awful. I just looked like I was in so much pain, so I figured it was probably best not to post it. I didn't really talk about a lot of stuff, I just said ow a lot, so here we are back. We have a little bit of caffeine in us, and we are ready to show you some projects. Before we get into all the crafting and events that are coming up, I do want to touch on a subject that is more of a serious tone, but a conversation that's been going on mostly on Instagram, and there are tons of links and posts and stories and highlights on the subject to educate yourself more on it, but I just wanted to declare here that Once Upon a Corgi, the store and the shop are the same thing. The store, the podcast, me personally, and our family views, it's a discussion of inclusivity and racism in the knitting and fiber community, and I just wanted to make it very clear that I welcome and invite and encourage every person to join us in this community. I am bad at talking about serious subjects and in general, but I just wanted to say that everybody is welcome here, and I want this to be a safe space for everybody to share their projects and what they're making and their ideas, and feel like they're able to come in to the booth, into the store, into podcaster meetups, into the comment sections, and be able to speak freely. I hope this makes sense. So that is what I wanted to say on that. It was not the most eloquent. All of the Instagram posts that I have been putting out usually take a long time to write up, but I wanted to verbally say it. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, but you do watch the podcast and you've been reading up on what's been going on, and this is a place for people to enjoy the making that we are doing, and the puppies, and the conversations. I'm really sorry if this was really poorly worded. I'm bad at this. If I cut this out, then I will put a little blurb in the show notes, which are down below. Okay, let us get into the events section and how we are not going to touch our hair. I was watching Grace's podcast the other day when she had her hair down, and she said she didn't deserve long hair because she doesn't know what to do with it, and I feel you. I don't know what to do with it either. It just goes in a bun, and then when I take it down, it gets mad. It does this. Events that are coming up. These are Once Upon a Corgi handmade shop events, but I will be there in person, so if you even just watch the podcast and you want to stop by and say hi, feel free. The first one is Rebecca from Fuse Fiber Studios and I did a pop-up last February, and we had such a good time putting it together and hosting everybody and meeting so many new people that we decided to do it again this year. So February 23rd, which is a Saturday, from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., we are hosting a pop-up shop, knit night, wine, snacks, sparkling water kind of event at her studio at the Farmington Valley Arts Center in Avon, Connecticut. So all the information will be on my website and her website of where the studio is, and I'm going to try and put a list together of restaurants nearby and hotels nearby in case you are driving from a long distance. We're hoping the longer hours gives people a chance to maybe come in for the afternoon, stop in, and then explore the area a little bit before having to head back, or just having a nice weekend in Connecticut. It's a very nice area, so I highly recommend it. The next event is in March. That is Saturday, March 23rd. I will be having a trunk show in person at Knit Locally in Gaithersburg, Maryland. We're going to be doing like a preview party the night before. I don't have the exact time for that at the moment, and I am so excited for that. I've already got a warm bed to stay in, and I cannot wait to meet some more fiber friends in person. Knit Locally hosted our yarn during their yarn gala in October this past fall during Rhinebeck weekend. So I sent the yarn down, but I was not there because of Rhinebeck, so we picked a date for me to go down in person, and it was a adventure trying to pick it out because fall is very busy up here, but I think March is a really good season to kind of get yourself into the fibery mood before summer, and then it gets too hot to do anything. My show notes are over here, so if I keep looking that way, that's it. Oh, I'm so tired. Our next section is what am I wearing? I am wearing the So Faded pullover by Andrea Mowry. It's my Francofille. The top 3 yarns, I'll just show you my arm because that's gonna be easier. Oh, I went to the gym today. Oh my god. The top 3 are Francofille knits, which is now Cardinal fibers. If that's wrong, I'm gonna put it down below, which is Devin from the Francofille Knits podcast, and her new beautiful little baby boy. Congratulations. And the last color is La Bien-Aimée. I don't remember the top 3 off the top of my head, but I will create a Ravelry page for them one day. I'll put them in the show notes for now. And the bottom one is Magellanic Cloud? I think I'm saying that right. The top 3 are Polworth, and the La Bien-Aimée is BFL. And this was a really fun knit. I really like the style of the sweater. I don't know if I would do another fade, but I would definitely knit this again. And on the bottom, I am just wearing a knit pencil skirt. The pattern is from Patterns for Pirates, and it's a floral on black fabric knit. Surprise, surprise. I am also going to acknowledge this because I don't do this. I don't know if you can see it. I painted my nails. It is Essie in the Mauve-tivation colorway. A friend gave it to me, and so I painted my nails. It's a terrible job, and I started doing things really quickly after painting them because I never paint my nails, so they're all messed up because of dogs and moving and general life. And that's why I don't paint my nails, because it never stays on longer for 10 minutes. I have no FOs for you this week, but we have gotten a lot of work done on projects. There's a couple projects I cannot show you until a later date because they will be gifts. So I'm going to say this here to remind myself that I'm going to take photos of all of them, so then after they have all been gifted, I can share them here because I'm in love with them. The patterns are amazing, and they've been flying off my needles. And I really want to show you to say that I've been so productive, but I can't. I don't think they watch the podcast, but I don't want to risk it. Sir, that was a terrible parking job. So for the crafting today, I will have a ton of whips to show you, some plans for future projects, and not technically stash, well, it is stash enhancement, but a little bit of stash enhancement. Don't worry, it's not from Vogue. Yeah, project plans, acquirements, and then we'll do shop update and beyond crafting. I'm gonna try and remember to do like a top of the show what we're gonna go into, so you know. I feel so out of practice. All right, we have no finished objects, but I'm going to show you the closest thing I have to one, which is not close. We have been putting in a ton of love into the Seafarer's cardigan by Moira Engel, and this is a man's cabled seamed cardigan that I bought yarn for Jake in at least 2015 or 16. Wool was having a sale on their Legacy DK because they were discontinuing it, and I bought so much of it. So I decided to knit him a cardigan, and I finished the back. You guys, this has been on the needles, I want to say, for over a year now. It might be a year soon, because my friend and I cast on at the same time, and she finished her dad's sweater before Christmas, and I did nothing. So we plugged away and we finished the back. And it is beautiful. These two cable panels surrounding the one major cable. It is the Legacy DK, which is a discontinued base in the Blackbear colorway. And I did, so I couldn't get, I don't know, front side syndrome? That doesn't make sense. So I just never cast on the other, I don't know what I'm saying. Oh God, hold on. I did cast on the ribbing for the right front. Ta-da! I believe I'm done with the ribbing. It is covered in so much dog hair, and I now have to do the, oh no, I have a little bit of ribbing left. I have to set up for the pocket. So I have to ask Jake if he really wants that pocket, because it doesn't look like a very large pocket. So it's not like he can put his hands in it, and unless he just wants it big enough for his phone. I have to ask him. If he doesn't want the pocket, great. This could be done very soon. But I have cast on. I am using, the ribbing is size 5. I'm using my KnitProZings, and I have knit the body of the sweater on 7s. So it is a fast growing sweater, but because it is so many cables, it took so long. Fortunately, the front only has one cable panel on each side, and the sleeves are reverse stockinette. So I think those are going to fly by. I believe I bought 13 to 15 50-gram skeins of this yarn, so I am not worried about yardage. I'm just ready for this to be done. I was hoping to have the sweater done for our engagement shoot, which is coming up in the next couple of months. We have to actually book the date, but I don't think that's gonna happen, which is fine. But if it does happen, that'd be great. That was the goal. The other goal is to just have it done by Christmas for him. Or Rhinebeck. He does want a Rhinebeck sweater this year. I'm keeping it in my a project bag I got in a swap years ago. It was my first swap ever. And I'm using, I never show this off because it's got the pattern in it and covered in so much dog hair, my Erin Lane bag. I guess not Erin Lane bag. It's this dinosaur fabric, but it's a pattern holder. I'm not gonna, here, I'll just hold open the, you can't see the charts. It holds your pattern in this little, oops, sorry, in this little plastic thing, and then you can put highlighter tape on top of it. And that's what I've been keeping my charts in, and it's super handy. I also want to finish this so I can use this for other projects. I bought this in 2016 at Stitches Midwest, and it's only, oh no, this might have been on the needles for 2 years, because I bought this for this sweater in 2016. Ooh. Oh, that's embarrassing. Oops. All right, we're just gonna stop talking about this sweater now. We have one other sweater that we've actively been working on, and that is the Shady Side Pullover by Samantha Guerin Designs. And this is a test knit for her. She's hoping to release the pattern mid-February. I don't want to give out the date she gave me in case that's not right, but it's coming out soon. It's being photographed as we speak. And this is a fingering weight top-down raglan style pullover using fingering weight. I'm using my hand-dyed yarn in the Audrey base because I had a couple skeins lying around, and you hold it double with mohair and silk, so I'm using my fig lace. The colors are Moonlight, and the fig lace, which is our mohair base, is Nightmares +10. The Audrey base is 100% BFL. I don't have it in the shop as often because I have to hand wind the skeins off of cones and then dye them, so it's a little tedious, but I'm hoping I can bring them in full swing in the future. And we have done a ton since we showed you this last. I am on the back ribbing. It is a split hem. So I'm doing the back ribbing. I used US 5s for the body, which is what the pattern calls for, and US 3s for the ribbing. I did only dye 2 skeins of this. The pattern calls for 3 minimum. And I have this much yarn left, so I think I'm going to supplement this with some Marie Cutie because they have a pretty similar feel to them. I only dyed 2 skeins because I only had 2 bare skeins available. So that was my bad. That's what you get for not reading the pattern that you're test knitting. And I think this is going to be, this is definitely going to be done in time for the release date. And I'm so excited about it. She did this fantastic detail for the raglan increases, where I believe this is a Karen Templar thing, not procedure, design feature. I know Bristol Ivy uses it in a couple things, but she references Karen Templars, where in the increases you use a purl stitch and then you can seam it afterwards, so it creates sort of like a faux seamed look, but it has the structure as if you seamed it up, and I'm very excited for that. I believe I explained that in the last time I showed you this, but you know. I tried it on earlier and it fits perfectly. It's the perfect length for not a fully crop top, but a light crop top. It hits just at the top of my hips, and I just started the ribbing, so they will hit sort of mid hip, so I can wear it with jeans or a skirt or over a dress or something, and I'm super excited for this. I'm hoping to have the ribbing done over the weekend so then I can get the arms started, the sleeves started during knit group. It's been my movie knitting, my car knitting. It was just so nice. It was a little bit mindless, but you have to pay attention to your rows for the stripes, so not bad. Not bad at all. I'm so excited to wear this. I'm so excited for this pattern. Her sweaters have been killing it. The Pine Creek pullover that she also designed that I knit out of my fairy saddle colorway launched a Vogue Knitting Live weekend, and it did amazingly well, and that sweater is gorgeous, and I cannot wait to see people knit it up. I'm using my Matterroot bag because it's my favorite bag of all time, and I just keep transferring all my projects into this one. I think I need another one. Oh, pumpkin. The last knitting project that I've been working on is also a Samantha Guerin Designs, and this is the, ooh, duck hair on my chin. Ooh. The Electric Love shawl that she designed out of my hand-dyed yarn on the Tesla base, which is our BFL silk cashmere base, in the Blood Moon and Like My Cold Dead Heart colorway. And it's a rectangular shawl starting with brioche, going to some garter bits, lace, garter bits, and we are back on the brioche. And now this is flying by. I don't know what took me so long to finish this shawl, but now I can't stop. I don't want to put it down. Ugh. I think the last time I podcasted, I was halfway through the lace, I want to say. I feel like this is a lie of where I was. I'm in the decrease section, so each row is going by faster and faster, and I cannot wait to wear this. Let's knock my spindle off. This base is so luxurious and drapey, and I just fall in love with it every single time I knit with it. I wish I carried it more often, but it's a very hard base to guess what people want the colors in, so I might just do a dye to order for it. What else do I have to say about this yarn? I don't even know. It's beautiful. So this is what I have left. They have, they're a little bit fuzzy. They have been through a couple things. But that's what you get for neglecting your shawl projects. I will have this done. My goal is by my birthday because I would I need this for a sample for my booth. I have been using Sam's sample, and I told her she has to keep it hostage until I finish mine, because I just need to finish this. I cannot be enabled to just use other people's knitting for my booth samples. Not when I have one on the needles. And I am using my KnitProZings on my US size 6. These are by far my favorite needles. I love the sock needles. I love the interchangeable set. Ugh, they're my favorite. They're pointy, but not too pointy. They're metal. They just have a nice feel. Like, they just feel really nice, and they make a very satisfying clicking noise when you knit. Is your tummy rumbling? I really want to work on this today, but I should finish the ribbing, but I should work on Jake's sweater. We'll see. I'm going to work on this today. Decided it. I don't know what else to tell you about this besides it's very potato chippy and super squishy, and I feel like if you want to get into brioche, this is a really good pattern to sort of launch yourself. You only increase or decrease on one side, and I feel like it's a very good beginner brioche section, and then you do break it up so you're not brioching the whole time. You do have a little bit of a break to kind of get your mind wrapped around what you're doing. It's very well written for the brioche sections as well. Oops, I got it stuck on something. Oh no, oh no. Ooh. Oh, we'll fix that in blocking. There we go. Ugh, I love it. I love it so much. I love this yarn. I love these colorways. Can you say you love a project more than a billion times in one sentence? I attached my row counter into the inside of my project bag, and now it's just getting tangled. So I am keeping this in my, you know, super gothy shawl, in my super gothy 100 Raven project bag, which is covered in cat hair because the cat uses this as a bed. I have a shelf in the living room where I keep all my whips, and it got not so empty, but the bags were small enough that he could just sort of squish himself in there and sleep on my stuff. So that is it. I have worked on cross stitch, but it's in the living room, so I will show you next week. Yeah. That way I have something to show you next week in case, you know, something happens and I don't work on anything, or I start a new project that I can't show you. And on to project plans. So I have a couple plans in the works for projects, all sewing, even though I haven't touched my sewing machine in like a month. But it's a necessity now. Audrey, I need these, please. Excuse me. Can I have these? So as I mentioned in a previous podcast, I had one pair of jeans. It was a pair of black, not high-waisted, but higher-waisted skinny jeans, which is my preferred jean of choice. I like skinny jeans, I like high-waisted things, and I like big pockets. And they had big pockets in the front and the back. And then we were puppy sitting. One of the puppies from Audrey's litter, our friends have Cecil, who is one of the boy puppies. We had him a couple weeks ago, the week before Vogue Knitting Live, because they were on vacation, and I'm gonna get super blown out because the sun just came out and I am basically a light reflector. Reflector. So I don't know if it was Audrey or if it was him, but somebody got into the laundry and chewed a giant hole in the crotch of my jeans. So I no longer have a pair of jeans that I can wear. So now I have no pants. I have yoga pants for the gym, and not just like black yoga pants like the ones with like the mesh stripes, and like these are clearly for the gym. So I don't like wearing them out unless I'm at the gym or like just went to the gym. So we need to make ourselves some pants. We are express shipping some sewing plans. Our Make 9 did include jeans, either the saffron pants from Deer and Doe, or so over at London had a pair. And I think I'm gonna go with the saffron pants because they're the ones that It's one of the only patterns, not one of the only patterns, it's one of the patterns that I like the look of it, and they do use stretch jean. I don't like the very heavyweight denim, even though I know it's gonna last longer. It just doesn't sit on me very well. And luckily, a friend of mine did some sewing, but she only sewed bags. And so she had a ton of dark stretch denim at her house that she wasn't gonna use. So she gifted it to me so I can make pants. And I am so excited. I didn't buy the pattern yet. We're gonna wait until after the pop-up show to get it because it is a paper only pattern, so we have to order it from Guerin, so the shipping's a little bit more than we usually pay. There is a date in our mind of when we can sort of start this. I would like these done maybe for March. If I can get these done for April, I'd be really happy with that. I always end up bending my shows. No, that's the wrong thing. Every time I have a show to bend, the day before when it's setup day, I always end up wearing like a pencil skirt or something very like slim fitting and short, which I'm saying you can get ready in whatever you want, but it's just not the most easily thing to be like crawling around the back of my car in, or like straddling grid walls to put the legs on, because that's how I just set everything up. So it's very restricting instead of, you know, having a slightly longer dress on or a longer skirt or pants on. And that's just, so I would like these for bending setup at least. I'm super excited about this. They have a little, let's see if I can show you without unfolding everything. It is a dark denim and it's got a little bit of stretch, so I think that's going to work really well with a more high-waisted skinny jean. That's also been a struggle that I've been trying to find is a good skinny jean pattern. A lot of the patterns are boyfriend or boot cut, and I just don't like the way they look on me or feel. So I go more towards the skinny jean style. I'm not letting it go. You can't make me. So this is going to be in the future, and I'm so excited. Jeans were on my list this year, but I figured I would do it in like June or July when things were slowing down. Not slowing down, when things are a little bit more quiet business-wise because it is summer, so then I can have a little bit more time to work on my sewing, but necessity calls. Thanks, pups. Sorry. You can have your pillow back. The other sewing plans I have is to make a tulle skirt. I found this picture on Pinterest and I thought, oh my god, this is beautiful. I want one to walk around my house in. And then my friend, she had a separate, her wedding gown was a lace top and then a separate skirt. So they were two different pieces. This is the sign for that, obviously. And she bought a tulle skirt in like this deep purple as her party skirt. So like when she was dancing or having dessert or cutting the cake or something, she didn't have to wear the white and risk getting it dirty. And then after that, I was like, oh, I definitely need one of these just to like float around my house in as a fairy witch queen. So that is on my sewing list. I have the tulle picked out and I have the lining ready to go. I have not bought them yet. I'm waiting for a sample to come in from an Etsy fabric store to see if I like that tulle better, but I think I'm just gonna go with the fabric.com stuff because I'm gonna wear it a couple times, but it's really just for me to like run around my house in and flow gracefully from my knitting corner to the couch. Cause isn't that what all clothes are for? I haven't found an exact pattern for that, but I am going to be using some references for circle skirts and gathering and measurings of sort of like a bunch of different patterns that I have for the waistband, or the measurements for the circle skirt and that sort of thing. So that'll be a hodgepodge of not a hodgepodge, that'll be a fun Franken pattern skirt, but I'm super excited to make it. I do want to make a top to go with it, either a medium gray or black top. I'm not 100% set on what it's gonna be yet, but I am on the lookout for a nice cropped shirt or maybe a bodysuit style, something really slim fitting and that I can tuck into it. So I'm on the lookout for that. If you have anything like that that you know of, let me know. That'd be great. I'm very excited for it. My friend who wore her tulle skirt to her wedding is coming over for a weekend in March, so we're just gonna wear them together. And I can't wait. I can't wait for that. I'm so excited. I would like this one done pretty soon, because if it turns out the way I'm hoping it does turn out, we'll probably wear it for the engagement shoot. By we, I mean I'll wear it for the engagement shoot for the like fancier dress thing, because our photographer does 2 outfits. We do like a casual and then a more formal outfit, so I feel like this would be really nice with the locations that we've picked out. My brain's a little bit scattered, can you tell? And those are our sewing plans, alongside of literally hand sewing a clasp onto the back of a skirt. That's all we have to do. We just have to sew the clasp back onto the skirt, and then sew the zipper back into my dress that I hulked out of like 3 months ago. Oh man, it was like 3 months ago now. But besides that, and also sew the zipper into a skirt, and maybe finish those shorts. So we might have a very sewing heavy episode coming up. We'll see. That is it for my crafting. That is what I've been working on, and that is what I am planning on working on. So the rest of this will be shop update and beyond crafting. If you were not here for any of that, thank you so much for watching. And if you are here for the rest of it, let us continue on. Shop update section. Last weekend we did a shop update with Blood Moon, and oh, let me go get them. So last weekend we had a shop update with Blood Moon, which is this, try and hold them, beautiful medium to light gray background. Ooh, this is a disaster. There we go. Base with speckles of reds and burgundies and little bits of green and black. And I dyed these up on Penny, Isaac, Marie Cutie, and Fig Lace, or mohair base. And this was the colorway inspired by my engagement ring, which is officially now over a year ago. We got engaged on the Blood Moon, so I want to say it was like February 1st or January 31st. I don't know. It was the Blood Moon. I don't remember the date. I'm bad at dates. So it's our 1-year anniversary of releasing this colorway, and I love it so much. I've tried putting it in everything, and I continue to plan on putting it in as many projects as I can. We did sweater quantities of these 2 colorways. We also did Rose Gold, which is this beautiful light pink, peachy, coppery, tannish, not tan, color, you know, apple rose gold. Like your Apple Watch or phone. I did this on Penny, Isaac, Marie Cutie, and Fig Lace, and I just love this. It's so delicate but tonal. I love it so much. So very much. So I did an update with those last week. This week we're not going to do a shop update section, but we are not having a physical shop update this week, but we are redoing the website, and I feel like it's been needing it for a little while. I just wanted something to show off more of the yarns. The layout, it was a good layout. It was a good first website layout, but I don't think it showcased the yarns, the colors, samples as well as it could have. So we are redoing the website. We're redoing the homepage. The shop section is going to be about the same. We just changed a couple things around, highlighting the yarn support page. So if you were a designer of crochet, knit, weaving, whatever, there's a form you can fill out to let us know what kind of project you're working on and what you're looking for in the yarn, so I can work with you to figure out your color, your base, and what you need to get started on this design in our yarn. Yeah, I'm just very excited about it. I've been wanting to revamp the website for a while, so we've been focusing on this week. And we are starting to dye up stuff for the pop-up shop in February. We have a ton of yarn in the shop, so it is not lacking anything at the moment, so we can focus on getting some trunk show stuff set and that kind of thing. I'm saying a lot. It's because I'm not used to this. The launch of the new website will be on Sunday, so our usual update time. Sunday morning when I get up, I will launch the website, and I'm very excited about it. Very proud of it. We've been on a website kick this week. That's really it for shop news and events at the moment. This week I will be doing on my Instagram stories, and I'll be highlighting them so you can keep an eye on them, what we're going to be doing event-wise for the year. So we already have the whole year booked out for trunk shows, for vending shows. We have one opening set. Yeah, we have one opening left for the year, but that is a tentative maybe already. So fingers crossed. That way you have plenty of time to figure out which shows you can make it to, if you want to travel to any of them, if you want to make a day out of it, or if anything is coming into your area. We are doing a couple more mail-out trunk shows than we usually do this year, so we will have some West Coast, we will have some Midwest. I'm super excited to get this year rolling. I'm very excited about it. So keep an eye on our Instagram for that. I'm going to put those together this weekend, so I can release them during the week. Yeah, that made sense. I'm gonna have more tea. Maybe I need a nap. We're rambling, so it must be time for the Beyond Crafting section of the podcast. Because we have not podcasted in a while, we have not a ton to talk about with what we've been doing, but it's a little bit longer than usual. We got sick for about a week and a half mid-January. I think it was bronchitis, but I never made it to the doctors because the one day I thought like, oh, if I'm really bad today, I'll go to the doctors. I couldn't drive, so I couldn't go to the doctors. Luckily for Jake, he was out of the house the whole time I was sick, so he didn't catch it. Unlucky for me, Jake was not home the whole time I was sick, so I was just a useless blob. Being a blob. Then we went to Vogue Knitting Live, and that was so much fun. I got to see all of my fiber friends and meet so many new people, and I got to see Eva from the Perth Festival of Yarn in person, and it was so nice to finally meet her. We've been Instagram friends, fiber internet friends for a couple years now, and I was so excited to see her in person. I'm so glad she could make it out, and we had a great time in the Knitty City booth. I was there with Zandy Peters, who does these beautiful intricate knitwear designs, for a little bit in the afternoon, and that was a ton of fun. It kicked my butt. I basically slept the whole next day and just didn't move. I probably shouldn't have gone because I didn't really have my energy up at that point, but I was really glad that we went. And then between then and now, it's really just been like getting my energy back up because I was sick for so long, and I wasn't eating while I was sick just because like I didn't have the energy or the appetite, so I've just been sort of getting my strength back. And also Marie Kondoing the entire apartment, which is still happening. I went through my fabric stash and a little bit of my yarn stash and got some stuff ready to go for D-stash and brought them over to a friend's house and the knit group, and all of it's gone now, and I'm very excited. Most of the ladies in my knit group took maybe like 1 or 2 skeins, but then one of them, her daughters go to a school that teach knitting, crocheting, and weaving. I think mostly they use it for weaving. So I just wanted to throw it out there that if you're looking for yarn scraps or smaller skeins that you're looking at D-stash, see if your local schools do that, because I'm really glad that they all got a home. I do want to go through my stash one more time. I know there's a couple things in there that I'm holding on to, but I don't think that are necessarily bringing me the joy that other skeins are. Maybe over the summer, maybe during my spring air out. Because usually twice a year I'll take everything out, really deep clean the shelves, air it out, go through it, reorganize it, and then put it back. And it's a nice way to sort of keep track of what I have and see what's there, see what pairings come up. And that's really all we've been doing. Lots of work stuff, getting ready for tax season, which is the worst, trying to organize business-wise, and gather our thoughts for the next year, because we are close to the 1 year mark of the wedding, so we have to actually start planning stuff for realsies, not just like, well, that's a good idea, and then forget about it for 6 months. Pinterest has been the best of friends and the worst of friends. But I am very excited to actually get the ball rolling on stuff. We are, you know, mini wedding section, because I know a couple people keep asking, not keep asking. A couple people ask every so often, and I don't really talk about it a lot, but I figured as we get closer, you know, I'll let you know how it's going. So then in like January of next year, when I just have a podcast of me weeping on the floor, you know why. We have almost everything booked. We just need to find a florist for my bouquet, or a flower shop to buy the flowers in. We're still shopping around, but we have all the other vendors, which is a huge relief. So now we just have to pay for them. That's not a relief, but it's nice knowing everything is booked. We just now have a checklist for each month of 2 tasks, and if we do this right, it's going to be the most stressless wedding planning ever. Check back in 6 months when I go crazy. And with that, oh no wait, did I want to talk about the goals? I'll talk about goals next time. I have been listening to the Happier podcast by Gretchen Rubin, as many people have been stating. I know Kristen from Bull and Vine and Jacqueline from the Brooklyn Knit Folk and Stacy from Stress Knits have all touched on this, but I'm also listening to that podcast, and she did a 19 goals in 2019, so I'm doing 9 goals in 2019 that aren't fiber craft related, just sort of personal related, and I'll go over those next week. I feel like this is going to be a lengthy episode. So with that, I will let you go. I'm going to go edit this podcast, finish up the website, and then snuggle some pups and plan some dye days. Thank you so much for watching, supporting the shop, supporting the podcast, and following along with our fiber journey, and we will see you next week. Bye!